Hello guys, welcome into another Meteor Maker video, and in this video we're gonna discuss tips you need to know for raiding. As you know, in this game it's really important to raid in order to maintain your bases and gather a lot of materials. So I hope this video helps you to have better understanding what to do in order to raid that particular base that you choose on the command center. The command center is where you find every level to raid. As you can see, there's different difficulties. There's normal, there's dangerous, and there's brutal. Now the difficulty not only means the amount of traps, guards, or sight of the outposts, but also the amount of material or Genmat that you're gonna get for each advisor. Each advisor icon is here on the top. Pay attention which one is very close to be filled, because every time that you fill one, it will give you 1 bar for the Chimera Evolution, and it takes you 5 in order to get extra materials. We're gonna go over that later. Also keep in mind that each difficulty will grant you a specific Genmat for that specific advisor. So usually the champion ones, once you enable a champion outpost, it will give you a bit of everything, as you can see here on the right side. If you clear this one, you will get material for all the advisors, but you can specifically choose the one that you need in order to fill the entire bar. Also, the higher the difficulty, the more you will gather. As you can see here, in hardware, in dangerous, I fill the entire bar because it gives me almost 2,000 points, where in brutal you will get double of that amount. Alright, I think the best way to raid in this game right now is using dangerous in terms of time and materials that you get, because you will clear faster and you will get decent enough of Genmat in order to fill that mat of each advisor. So I will recommend to do dangerous if you want to gather more stuff faster, because brutal sometimes it will take you more than usual. Some bases are really difficult, or maybe for 2 people. If you playing solo, you know, it might be a little more challenging, so keep that in mind. Another tip here is that sometimes you are not able to abandon this if you don't want to raid this outpost, or you don't like. This is a perfect example here. You suspect this is a kill box and you don't want to do it because you don't want to waste time. So however, you cannot abandon this raid, and it's gonna be there until you clear it. But I have a little trick for you. So every time you want to reset the offerings of each difficulty, all you need to do is just enter one of your bases, then you simply exit the outpost. So as you can see, I went to the hardest one and it's no longer there. So now I'm ready to raid, and this one looks at least more interesting. So whenever you want to change the levels that they are presented to you, all you need to do is basically that little trick. Now, like I mentioned before, it's very important to pay attention which advisor is close to level, because every time that advisor levels, it will grant you a bar here on the evolution. Every time you have 5 bars, it will grant you the following rewards, and this is what you want. You want to get the most out of it, because this will grant you a lot of materials, and therefore you should be able to upgrade or unlock stuff in the game. Now let's start about the advisors here. You have plenty of advisors. You have hardware, you have weapons, you have guards, traps, and suits. Something that I don't see people doing is pretty much using the boost of every advisor. So when I go to this advisor here, if I use this boost, I'm able to see the exact length of the harvested path, the exact number of guard and traps, and the 2 most used defenses. This is very important because this will help you to determine what kind of hardware or weapons to bring on that raid. So I'm gonna activate that. Now I wanted to show the boost that I got from the advisor. As you can see here, the man intel, it gives me that it's short, and also gives me that there's 40 traps, only 1 guard, and the more traps that they have are impalers and box shots. So in example here, you can bring a Furious Edge and then also the Born Lancer, or you can use a Furious Edge and Arc Barrier if you want to speed rush these outposts that you're seeing on screen. The next one is Prota. Prota pretty much gives you the drop rate in raiding and building by 30%. So if you're raiding and you're destroying traps, you'll be able to get more materials, and every time that you get kills in your base, you're also gonna get an increase by 30%. So it makes sense that I always increase this, because the sync tide here is really important. It's one of the hardest material to obtain in the game. So every time that you play in the game, you should be enable this boost here, in order to get most out of it. So the next advisor is Metamorph. Metamorph will increase the prestige that you're in your outpost by 20%, but this video is more for rating. But when you go offline, it's very important to actually activate this if you have outpost running in order to increase the prestige of each base faster. Then we have Elpidia. Elpidia will grant you more Genmat every time that you are rating by 15%. This is gonna contribute on the points that you already get when you choose the difficulty. So this is gonna fill the bar a little bit faster, so it makes sense to also use this, especially if you are planning rating for a couple hours. Definitely is very important to have on. Chrono will give you drop rates in rating and building by 30%, so also it's a very good boost to have. So keep that in mind, that it's very important to use boosts in the game, because no matter what you're doing, building or rating, it will definitely help you to progress faster. Now going back to the first advisor, which grants you the visibility of how many traps and defenses that particular outpost has, it will give you a better decision which tools to bring into that raid, so you can have more success, faster clearing. Now in my opinion, the Vault Lancer is a must on any loadout. It's the best gun in the game, indisputably. So the Vault Lancer should be your main weapon. And the second one is almost up to you. Do you want to melee more? Do you want to deflect more? Depending on the traps that there are inside that outpost. Now, another thing is always bring 2 hardware slots. The blast grenade is best slot in here. So I will always bring grenades, especially on high levels where you have a lot of stacked traps in it that you probably don't have access, but the grenade might sneak in and blow a few of them up. It's really important to bring blast grenades. And then the secondary, in my opinion, the best is a flash fire. It protects you, especially when you grab mats, that there's a lot of traps going on the way out where it's stacked in. It will help you to kind of buy some time, but also you can bring the spike drive if you want to rush fast. And the funny spot is, I think the funny spot is more when you're doing duels. I think it's more important if your teammate cannot get you in a spot that you die, at least you have a way to respawn. Now another tip, if you choose a raid, so now you're in the raid and then you realize, oh, I don't have grenades, I don't have the hardware that I intended to bring to this raid, you can simply abandon the raid and the raid will still remain there. But if I go back to my command center, the base is still right there. Alright guys, so for another tip, when it comes to knowing where there could possibly be traps, usually on the way out or on the way in, is it has a requirement to have a square. So it has to be a square shaped block, an entire block, or a rectangle like you see here. It cannot be in like triangle like this. It won't be enough for a trap. However, some people use the clever way to put a triangle block and then put a trap behind it. So just be careful when you going past through this type of walls, because most likely there's gonna be a trap hidden. Same on the top, when you go over here, if you go and you don't pay attention, something's gonna drop on your head in this situation. Next is knowing what kind of traps you can deflect. I gathered up all the traps that you can deflect here. You can deflect the buckshot, you can deflect the iron claw, you can destroy the bomb from the cannon back, you can deflect the projectile from the hornet. Also, you can deflect the enforcer and the sentinel. The plasma sentinel is also deflectable, so anything that is a projectile can deflect in the game. So I'm gonna show how each one of them looks like, so you have an idea. And let's start with the buckshot. As you can see, it's really easy to deflect. Now the next is the iron claw. Keep in mind that if you don't destroy the claw, it's gonna keep triggering. So there's 2 ways you can disable this, is by either hitting when you're already grabbed or before you get grabbed, or with the barrier that I'm gonna show in this clip. As you can see, it's gone. If I shoot at you, as you can see, it does destroy the trap, so it disables it completely. Now for the plasma sentinel, you still will be able to deflect the projectile. Doesn't matter if they have the plasma cloud. You have to make sure that you deflect before it touches the surface. I'm gonna give you an example here. There you go. Now if I let it hit the surface, you will see that it still has the plasma cloud, which is really powerful mod. So make sure that you deflect the projectile before it hits, and your juice should be fine. Alright, next is the enforcers. As you can see, this is one of the most dangerous projectiles, because they're really fast. So you still will be able to deflect. Just make sure that you be careful when there's multiple, because for me it's one of the most deadly projectiles in the game. And now we have the Hornet, which is very similar to the Plasma Sentinel. The only difference is that it doesn't have the plasma mod, but it could move around, so it could become really annoying. So it's pretty much like a Sentinel that can move around inside a base, but you still be able to deflect whatever the Hornet is shooting at you. And yes, you can destroy cannonballs. You will be able to destroy the bomb without any explosion. Just keep in mind, if you miss, you need to get the hell out of there because you're gonna blow up. But it is possible to deflect a cannonball bomb if you time it right. I'm gonna give you an example here. As you can see, there's no bomb, no explosion, and I should be able to do this all day. The only two traps in the game that I would recommend to you dealing with the Bone Lancer or passing through it with the Art Barrier, because you cannot simply either deflect all the bombs turning here or dealing the insane amount of range of the incinerators. So I would recommend to you just take it out like this, or just if you got passing through, just do this and then get out. Now, if you didn't know, it is possible to go up to 5 corrosive cube with the Art Barrier. I think that's extremely stupid, but a fully upgrade Art Barrier would definitely have no problem going to the 5 blocks here. I'm gonna showcase that to you. I'm gonna start from the very beginning, that you don't require one. After the second corrosive stack, you would definitely be required to use one, because you won't be able to pass through the second corrosive cube. Alright, this is the first one. No problem here. Now the second one, you need to do it before you enter the second cube, otherwise you're gonna die. You do it like this and you should be fine. 3 corrosive cubes, 4 corrosive cubes. Now the 5 corrosive cube is really hard because I cannot grab it from here. It's get out of range, so I need to enter the first cube, throw the grapple, and then activate the Art Barrier. So you do it like this. There you go. Now the next step here is that the guards cannot leave the outpost. As you can see here, this is the maximum of length they can go with a patrol. However, they can come out and be up here, and if you approach them, they can jump on and keep going up the platform. So don't sleep on that. What you can do is just lurk him here and get him killed from far away if the person has a lot of guards at the very beginning. So you can see the guard cannot really pass through that little line, outline that the outpost had. But if I get closer, he will definitely jump. And if I keep like kind of taunting them, they can keep coming out. So be careful of that. Otherwise, yeah, you're gonna get killed. The next tip is you probably gonna find some outposts with the intention of trapping you once you get the Genmat. This is gonna look something like this, very similar. I didn't include the corrosive cube because that's an exploit and that's gonna be fixed. So that's gonna go away soon. So probably you're gonna see more stuff like this instead. But for this, I would recommend you to always carry a flash barrier, because it will protect you for a short amount of time, and where you can get rid of most of the traps that are inside the room, so you can slowly go on your way out. Now remember, every time you grab the Genmat, there's 3-second delay before the trap becomes online. So keep that in mind, so you will be able to squeeze a little bit more time on your flash barrier in order to get most out of it. Alright, so I'm gonna grab this here. I'm gonna destroy it the most I can. The grenade took care out of it. And there you go. Now I can safely go my way out, and that's how you take care of business. Now another thing that I cannot stress enough is find the tombs on each outpost. Some people block them, but just do a scout and see where they're at. They usually sound like this. They have sound proximity. So once you find them, you're gonna destroy and you're gonna get a bunch of material, and that's gonna help you to get more synthetic, specifically to get your outposts and other stuff in the game faster. Alright guys, this is the top tips that you should know in your making when you're raiding. I hope you find this video helpful. If you like this kind of video, or you're still here, I'm guessing you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button. I also stream on Twitch every night. You can find me there over there and give me that follow. That will help. And stay tuned for more videos on Meet Your Maker in near the future. So I hope you have a great day, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.